Welcome again to my 2.8 Troop Carrier build. We start this week, again, Farm and Automotive Solutions, and we're putting the interior systems together. What you see here is a trial fit out before it gets shipped to my home, where I'm going to assemble it myself. It's 2024. That means 40 years that I've been exploring the world's most remote places in four-wheel drives, in association with the Overland Workshop. Every build that I do, the most exciting part, but also the most concerning and worrying part, is always the wrap. I'm actually going to build a vehicle that is going to be black and white using original paint. Not going to wrap it because I want to see how good I can make it look in its original color. You invest a lot of money, a lot of time in the design. I've already spent some time with the guys at Neato Graphics and we discussed my idea. It's not this time a full wrap, it's a partial wrap, but I want to make the vehicle look a little bit unique and make it look better. And I'm going to go and see the results of our thoughts and hopes.
I've noticed it's quite clear.
I think it's stunning.
Like it?
Oh, I think it's so good.
Yeah, I think it turned out an absolute treat.
That is stunning. And that is
It's crazy how much better it looks compared to the mock-up. The mock-up looks good, but in person it's like, whoa. And it's seriously cool.
It's just right. It's not too much.
Yeah.
Well done.
Cheers. Thanks guys.
Well done. That is.
And the back, have a look at the back.
Oh, you did those lines at the back as well.
Yeah. The thing is, I think it had to be done. Yeah, it would have looked a bit.
Yeah, it looks complete. It looks complete.
Yeah. Very cool.
Because did they do that with the whole original one?
Yeah.
So it leans on that old retro feel, but it's not trying to copy it.
Exactly. It's a similar concept.
I like the way you don't have equal spaces between the spaces between the lines are equal, but the lines themselves are not equal.
Yes.
Thicker, thinner,
Staggered.
and then so good. You guys are really good at this.
Oh, thank you.
That
The thing
is
is,
very good.
It's its own unique form of art.
It is a form of
So
art.
it's definitely a form of art.
It is.
We're in the signage game, but we like vehicle signage because it's it's a whole different aspect. Whereas like billboards and that, you don't really get the same. It's not as complex. Like this, there's so many levels to it. What do you reckon, Gwen? Do you like it?
Yeah, I do actually.
A bit different from the previous ones because they were all solid colours. Happy days.
What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I think it's might be one of the best looking troop carriers ever. They get better every time. I must say, the view from the driver's seat, fabulous. In the loading area of the Troopy, I'll be installing a full draw system with chill out, workout, well, not workout, working space, and it starts here. For those of you also watching my Toyota Hiace four-wheel drive build, this is the troop carrier floor pan placed inside the Hiace. You can see clearly here how much smaller the troop carrier is, and see how critical every square millimetre is in this, what is actually a very small vehicle.
Then tight them all the way so that we can.
It's been designed so that no matter where in the world you are, you want an interior for your Troopy of this high standard, it will be shipped to you and it'll arrive looking something like this. If you have it, the electrics pre-wired for you, well, exactly like this. If not, and you want to do the wiring yourself, it will be assembled with the four major components: the floor pan, the electrical box, the packing box, and the drawer box. All of the main electrical components are in one box here, and the batteries in a separate box to comply with Australian design rules. But if you were to order one of these, this is how it might arrive at your place. Assembled on the floor pan, you then have to take it apart and reassemble it in your vehicle. I mentioned that I was going to have this delivered to my home, but practically speaking, for me, well, that's a problem in that it's not a one-man job installing this into the vehicle. So I'm going to do the initial installation here at Claremans and then take it home to do the wiring and final fitting. It's a tight fit. Best way of actually doing it is to put the electrical box in first and then the long box, which kind of goes up and in. And it did actually take three of us to get it in.
It's not good for the meeting.
Moment of truth time. There are actually work areas that aren't here. This is a little higher than normal. This is slightly lower than normal. Ergonomically, that's actually really nice. Slide out here. This then is the battery box. It contains two 200 amp hour Amptron lithium-ion batteries. 400 amp hour means that I can cook a meal, make toast, have an electric blanket, boil a kettle, pretty much go as soft as I want to. And now we'll drive it home to continue work in my own workshop. Right, in my own workshop. Most of the cabling comes cut to length. I've already started putting together the main battery fuse box. That's the battery box, DC hub there, and all of the components in there. I just put some labels on that fuse box for there, and I am trying to figure out some of the smaller cables where they go to. It is not particularly difficult to do, and I think actually I'm going to do this. It'll take me 3 days in my own workshop to get this done. But it's fun. It's really fun work. Hello, it's Monday morning. I've had a wonderful weekend, just bang, 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 and I am, well, it doesn't look like I'm that close to being finished, but I actually am about halfway. So what I'm doing, I'm going to point the camera at things and then show you what I've been doing. The drawer unit is askew so that I can access this area here for the plumbing. I still have 2 more pipes to run, cold water pipes to run. That is a hot water pipe that I've run, 2 more to go. And of course the other side of this is the Mission 4x4 access door with fill and hot and cold. The power box is wired up and working. Let's have a look inside. Now I get it, it does look a little bit like a skip in here, but progress is coming on nicely. I'm close to finishing wiring up the Egon DC hub. This part here behind here is actually complete, so I want to show that to you. That inspection plate off, and in there is the battery box. That is a water pipe that still has to be fastened. I've got a water outlet here, hot water for shower and colder water for grey water input. They go there. This is the master fuse box. DC hub, that's 150 amp, relay hub, that's 100 amp, and 2 inverters. We've wired it, and their recommendation at Claremans is to wire this to both inputs of the inverter. Current is very high. You want to reduce voltage drop to the absolute minimum, and you do that with the heaviest possible cable from the battery itself, and then I've got two 250 amp fuses here, go to the inverter. I like to be able to switch the oven and the water heater and the rear light from the driving position. No switch panels are currently available on the market with the new console dashboard, so out came my 3D printer. It took just 6 attempts to get it right. I see this as a temporary solution. I think I'll work a bit on it later to get it looking a little bit better. So on the left we have the Egon water hub, in the middle the inverter, and on the right the 10-litre water heater, all contained in the centre box. I've asked my friends at Midland 4x4 Centre to do some items that I cannot possibly do myself, and it's a big day. The reveal at last, finally, of the off-road animal bull bar for the 2024 Land Cruiser. And of course the awning. All I have to do now is the suspension and have a quick look back at the ugly duckling that I first met in my dealership.
Oh my word, you know what it looks like? Do you remember that movie about the cars? The truck in Cars?
Do you remember the day we were in the dealership?
Yes, I do.
And now?
I said it looked like that truck from Cars.
Yes.
It don't look like the truck from Cars. It's still got eyes. I'm sorry. There's nothing you can do to redeem the headlights. But apart from that, I think it looks amazing. And that bull bar is just absolutely stunning. And the wrap. It looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Totally different vehicle. So yeah, I think it's a win.
And you've been driving the van, haven't you?
The van! Who would have thought that I would have loved an Amazon delivery van?
Which one are you most excited about?
Oh,
Given
the
both
van.
of them?
The van. Without question. Troopy is same old, sorry. It is. I mean, it's gorgeous and all that, but yeah, we've been there, we've done that. The van.
So as you can see, I have a bit of a dilemma. Trouble is with YouTube is that I'm judged. Everything I do, I'm judged. I'm not alone in that, but if you're a YouTuber, you will be judged by people watching the video. So every choice I make, I will be judged. But I've always liked to be honest. Honesty is it. If you just want hype, this is not the place to be. Let's quickly go 2.8 versus V8. This 2.8 goes very, very well. All right, I recently drove my old V8 for a day, and to get a feel. This is now heavy. I'm now driving this loaded. Very similar weight. The 2.8 does not, it's not as good as the V8. Given though, very important to note this, the V8, I had tweaked it. It was not a stock out of the shop V8. It was tweaked, not heavily tweaked, not lots and lots of power added, but sufficient. I'm sorry, it goes better than the 2.8 when you work it. It just does, and it does it with ease. It does it at lower RPM, far lower RPM. It's not to say that the 2.8 doesn't perform well. It performs very well. Off-road though, I prefer manual. I'm a better driver with a manual gearbox than I am off-road because I've done it more. But I do know how to drive an auto off-road. I do know the techniques, and I don't find it difficult, but I don't get the excitement, the kick, the connection with the wheels that I do with a manual gearbox. You feel through the clutch, you feel what the car's doing with a manual gearbox. With an automatic, it's numb. It does a lot of the work for you. It's easier to drive well with an automatic gearbox than it is with a manual gearbox. But in terms of the type of driving I do, travel I do, touring I do, actually an automatic gearbox has a lot going for it. And I am about to do my first trip in this vehicle in WA. I have a bit more work to do on it. I still have to sort out the water system, which is, I have not resolved the water tank system. What I've tried to do has been, because there have been no products available, I wouldn't say a success. Please don't judge me. I had to try something, and I don't think this is a viable solution on what I've been doing. But I have now found one, and I'm going to fit it before I leave on my first trip. And I dare say I will come back with this Troopy thinking, wow, what a great truck it is. Because I love troop carriers because they do so much, so well when it comes to overland touring. But my dilemma is, I want to do Canning Stock Route for the third time in 2025. And I visualize myself, when I goal set and plan, I use visual cues. And I don't see myself driving the Troopy. I see myself driving the van. It's at the moment it's giving me more of a thrill to get that. It's a big challenge. It's not a challenge building a troop carrier that is really good off-road, really good overland. It's no longer a challenge. The van is a huge challenge. So there you have it. Honesty. Judge all you will. Those of you who do like my videos, do me a favor, just click that little like button. It tells YouTube that you like my videos. Helps me out. See you in the next one.